the Program Director of the Health Information Management Programs here at SNHU. Welcome to the HP Cares HIM Edition series, where health professions create awareness and real-world engagement comes to life. We're thrilled to have you join us this evening. Get ready to connect with thought leaders who are shaping the future of healthcare, exchanging ideas, and exploring the multifaceted landscape of health professions. This is a monthly series that will feature a diverse range of healthcare-related topics, projects, research, careers, subject matter experts who will share their collective insight into the profession. We are especially excited about our upcoming sessions featuring Dr. Jasmine Agnew, an accomplished expert in health information management. During this presentation, you will hear her speak on key content that will help you in your professional journey. Before we begin our session, let us take care of some housekeeping items. For those who are attending live, please note we are recording for the benefit of our colleagues who will watch the recording later. If you do not wish to be included in the recording or transcribed aspect of the session, please refrain from using the chat or feel welcome to exit the session now and watch the recording later. This session will be approximately an hour in length. You will have the opportunity to ask questions at the end of the session. Once the Q&A portion of the presentation begins, the Q&A or chat function can be used for questions. This session is also being transcribed. If you wish to turn on live captions, click on the ellipses in the menu bar and select Turn on Live Captions. We would like your thoughts on this series. There will be a link provided so that we can obtain feedback from you. At this time, I'm very excited to introduce our guest speaker, Dr. Jasmine Agnew. She's an award-winning educator in the field of health information technology, management, and informatics. She's a published author, community activist, scholar, and health professions educator. She has over 2 decades of experience in the field of health information management and healthcare education. Dr. Agnew is passionate about creating sustainable educational offerings to prepare learners for the workforce where healthcare and technology intersect. Her research focuses on advancing healthcare, academic equity, and stakeholder involvement in developing relevant curricula. Dr. Agnew has played an integral role in maintaining programmatic accreditation, increasing passing rates for certification and credentialing exams. She has been an expert on competency-based healthcare education and workforce development on the local and national stages. She's also served as a mentor and moderated in several industry-related organizations. She's a graduate of Itawamba, hopefully I pronounced that correctly, Community College, with an Associate of Applied Science degree in Health Information Technology. She then graduated from the University of Alabama at Bellingham with a Bachelor of Science in HIM. She also has a Master's in Health Informatics from the University of Tennessee Health Center, as well as a Master of Theological Studies from Regent University School of Divinity. She then went on to complete her Doctorate of Health Professions from Logan University, and she also holds several industry-related credentials and certifications in healthcare systems, change management, and process improvement. She has done a lot. She's a fellow in the inaugural American College of Health Data Management class, currently serving as the director of the Master of Science in Health Informatics program at Morehouse School of Medicine. And at this time, I would like to hand the presentation over to Dr. Agnew. You're in for a treat.
All right, thank you so much, Dr. Orr, for that introduction. All right, let me get my little screen together over here. Let's see. Let's see. There we go. All right. So, everybody, welcome. So good to see you all here today. We are going to talk about the 4 pillars of success. This is kind of something that after years of being in the field that I have made kind of a staple in my pursuit of building on what I learned many moons ago. I won't tell you how long ago in health information. Health information, as you know, has changed so much over the years, and it's really important that you're agile and that you can adjust with it. And there are some key things that you can contribute to your journey that'll make you ready for whatever the workforce has to offer. So let's get into that. So again, welcome to this session where we will discuss the 4 factors that can support your success in the field of HIM and beyond. So I just want you to know a lot of this we're going to talk about HIM, but it's going to give you some good stuff that takes you far beyond just what you learn in the classroom. And so I'm excited to meet all of you tonight to talk about the 4 pillars, the industry, and your future. So please do not hesitate to come off mute, ask questions when the floor is open, because I really want to talk about your journey and how we can help you to chart your success. Our objectives by the end of this session, you will be able to describe the benefits of the 4 pillars. And we're going to talk about education, certification, experience, and social capital in your success. You're going to identify ways to enhance and improve each pillar in your life. And then we're going to discuss the best approaches based on your goals for personal and professional development. So I'm not going to go through this whole intro thing, but thank you, Dr. Moore, for doing my introduction. But sometimes I like to share it because it's kind of like when I talk to people about the different pathways, there's success at every level. Some people, they do their associate degree in health information. Some people do their bachelor's. Some people do the master's and they go on. But there are so many opportunities at every, and I call it lily pad. Every lily pad you land on, there are so many pathways and so many wonderful things that you can do in the field, certifications, opportunities for you to gain meaningful experience. And so I like to share that and share my story because I really, I like for people to say, hey, I can do lots of things with a degree in health information and just with a healthcare degree because it has such an expansive skill set. And we're going to talk about that a little bit later about nonlinear thinking and how you can apply what you learn in the program to being successful in the field. But it just opens the door for so many things that you can do in the field. So we're going to talk about that. So I won't go into the this introduction again, but thank you, Dr. Ward, for your introduction. So let's talk about the 4 pillars. The 4 pillars we're going to talk about tonight are your education, your experience, certification, and social capital. So by definition, education is the body of knowledge that is acquired while being educated. Education encompasses the knowledge and skills you acquire in academic programs. So first of all, when it comes to your success, you made the first step, and that is enrolling in a program to teach you very important skills and concepts that you can learn and apply into practice. The second pillar is experience. Experience is a state of having been affected by or gained knowledge through direct observation or participation. That means the things that you've done hands-on, applying what you've learned in your education programs. Certification is the action or process of providing someone or something with an official document attesting to the status or level of achievement. This is what shows your level of expertise in a certain area. As you know, going through a CAHIM accredited program, you're able to sit for your academic credential, which is your RHIA. Some of you that come in that already have an associate degree from an accredited program may have your RHIT. And then after you get past those academic credentials, then you have these professional certifications, and they have them, of course, through different organizations in different specialty areas. And what they show is that you have expertise in that area. So we're going to talk about that as well. And then we're going to talk about social capital. Social capital is not a widely used term, but what it means is basically networking. Social capital increases the flow of information across social connections, opening doors and spreading ideas. So it's bigger than just a LinkedIn follow. It's bigger than just a Facebook connection. A social capital means that you have bidirectional relationships with people, and it benefits you. That you can not only glean from one another, but you can help and support one another as you progress through your professional career. So we're going to talk about all 4 of these pillars in this session on this evening. So let's start with pillar number 1, education. So of course, like I said, education is a body of knowledge that's acquired by being educated, and you all have taken the first step. So just out of curiosity, do we have any first-gen students? Any first-gen students that are in our audience on our calls today? Then you'll be the first one in your family to go to college. Or do we have any people that are returning after a long time of being out of college? By show of hands, anybody? Okay. All right. You got 2. Okay. All right. Well, then you have made really important steps in the first pillar of your success, and that is obtaining your education. Again, there's success at every level. The key is determining your goal and what it'll take you to get you there. One of the things that I always like to talk to my students about, and even my mentees and people that I work with in the profession, what is your personal vision? When you think about the vision of an organization, it's basically saying, this is what I see myself being. This is where I see myself going, and this is what I see myself providing. Where do you see yourself? What do you see in your future? Maybe in the next 1 year, 5 years, 10 years. What can you contribute? What would you like to contribute? And how can your education help to navigate you towards your future vision for yourself? Myself, I always knew I wanted to be an educator. And so even though I did my HIM education, I went to seminary, I also got certification in other areas. Regardless of whether I was teaching HIM, whether I was teaching someone how to create an effective sermon, or whether I was teaching somebody how to do a cut crease or do foundation matching, because I did a makeup artist certification for one of my friends that was going through cancer. What is it that I wanted to be? And my vision for myself is I saw myself as an educator, someone who helped to shape the minds of people to help them improve their quality of life and change their trajectory through the power of education. That was my personal vision. So I took the steps to help me to get to that place. So one of the things that you can do is when you come back to school, get in your mind what it is that you see yourself doing. What is your personal vision? Where do you see yourself going? If you would like to be an HIM director at a level 1 trauma facility, if you would like to see yourself as a clinical informatics consultant that works with implementing EHR systems across the healthcare system, just to show people the value of technology in healthcare. These are things that you can see yourself doing that can be powered by your education. How do you see yourself? Where do you see yourself? That's the first pillar. And that pillar is powered by your education. So there are programs at the associate, baccalaureate, bachelor's, master's, and doctoral level that can prepare you for those goals. These programs are online, on campus, and hybrid. But your responsibility is to find the program that fits best for you, whether it's based on your subject area, cost, time commitment. There are multiple things that you can consider. One of the great things about choosing a program is that there are so many offerings that you can choose whether you want to go into education, whether you want to stay in health information management, go into health informatics, whether you want to go into business. There are some people that even go into logistics and process improvement and project management. It all depends on where you see yourself and what you see yourself doing, where those pathways will take you, and what you choose to do as far as your future is concerned. And then when it comes to delivery, I know for myself, online education was the best fit for me because I had life. At the time, I had a young child. I say young, he's 24 now, so I rarely even see him. But at the time, I had a small child. I had a job. I had other things that were going on, like track meets and football games. So an online program fit best for me. But you make sure that you find what's the best fit for you. And because your education, it feeds into your vision. And you want to be successful, so make sure that you made a good choice. when it comes to what fits best for you. And if you decide, hey, you know what, I'm going to stop my education here, but I'm going to continue to learn more about emerging technology in the field and changes in the industry, then there's continuing education. And what continuing education is that every time you get certifications, there are modules, webinars, events, workshops that you can take part in that'll help you maintain those credentials and those certifications. Of course, you know about AHIMA, American Health Information Management Association. HIMSS is another one that really closely aligns to what it is that we learn in health information management, because it's Health Information Management Systems Society. The AAPC is for those that want to go into professional coding, if any of you have that desire to work on that side of the house. And then the HFMA, not only do they have things related to financial management, they also have certification that deals with business intelligence and using financial data to help make clinical decisions in a healthcare organization. That certification is one that I obtained because I really wanted to see how we can use patient revenue cycle information and patient data to make decisions about what services need to be provided in healthcare, what services are making money versus the ones that are costing more money, which ones have been put in place to serve the demographics in a certain area. If you've got a rise in elderly population, you may need a certain service line. Well, let's look at the data and see what the data supports. That's something that you can learn through continuing education. So I encourage you, that's a part of another thing that supports your pillar, is continuing to learn, always being a lifelong learner, and continue your pursuit of increasing your knowledge in the field. And then there are also these great things called skill set enhancements. And what a skill set enhancement is let's just say I want to learn more about leadership. I can go into Coursera and take a connected leadership course offered through Yale. If I want to learn about SQL or R or Python, I can go into Udemy. I think they've got one now that's maybe like $14.99. I can go and take that. If I want to learn how to be an educator and I want to teach, I can go to Harvard and I can do their teaching and medical education certificate. It's online. If I wanted to just get experience using data science and using some of those statistical programming methods, I can go to the Forage and do a virtual internship and learn how to use data science principles to complete projects. Another part of continuing education. Education is a really important pillar in what it is that we do to chart our success, because you want to be able to speak intelligently about what it is that you desire to do and how you see yourself in your future going as you move into and transition into your roles in the field. All right, so that was pillar one, education. Second pillar two, certification. Again, certification is the action or process of providing someone or something with an official document attesting to the status or level of achievement. This is what shows your level of expertise in a certain area. Academic credentials, of course, can be obtained after completing a program. And then there's those professional certifications we talked about. They can be obtained after a prep course is completed or after you've gotten experience in the field. But either way, whichever ones you choose, there's always something that I tell my students, make sure it's meaningful. You know, there are lots of people that have a whole bunch of letters behind their name that they never use or they never found value. But what are the ones that you gain that those skills can help you in your search and your navigation toward your success in your future? We'll talk about that in just a minute when we talk about pathways and nonlinear thinking. But make sure that those certifications that you get, that they mean something and they align with what it is that you want to do in the field and how you can navigate your success. So these are just as examples of some of the certifications. Again, you got your RHIA, you've got your CA-HIMSS. Your CA-HIMSS is a Certified Associate in Health Information Management Systems. It is a certification that you can take either after you finish your program, and some people can even take it while they're in the program. It has covers a lot of basic knowledge about healthcare delivery, and systems. After you've obtained this and worked in the field for a few years, you can take your CP-HIMSS, which is what I did. I took the CA-HIMSS worked for a few years, and then went back into the CPHIMS. The CPHIMS is a certified professional in health information management systems. And if you've had some experience in the field, then you can go ahead and sit for the CPHIMS. They'll just ask you to send your resume so they can vet that. The CHDA, Certified Healthcare Data Analyst, of course, that deals with data, which, of course, especially with the HEMA's launch of the Patient Care Data Initiative, it helps you to find data and patterns and trends to make decisions for healthcare organizations. And then, if you like project management, seeing projects from their launch all the way through, from their creation all the way through to their launch, then the CAPM, which is a Certified Associate in Project Management, is definitely one for you. And a lot of these have courses that you could take online that'll prepare you for those tests so that you'll really be ready to do well, be successful in your pursuit of those certifications. So let's talk about pillar 3, experience. Experience is a state of having been affected by or gained knowledge through direct observation and participation. One of the things that a lot of our programs, a lot of the HIM healthcare clinical programs have is a professional practice experience. What that is you get an opportunity to see a real world glimpse of what we do in the field. And what that does is it helps you to really understand, where do I want to go? What do I want to learn how to do? What do I want to get? How do I want to pursue a job? And it gives you an opportunity, whether you're virtual or in person, to glean from every position an opportunity in the field. Because one of the things that I think that sometimes will hold us up is that if we only think we can do certain things, but we're going to talk about that in just a minute, that there are so many things that you can do. And that comes from the expansive skill set, plus every skill and every activity that you complete in these settings. The professional practice experiences, when you get an opportunity to sit with a leader in that department that has been there for a long time, they can not only share stories about processes, but they can also share their experiences and what they learned and what helped them be successful along their path. Your virtual and in-person internships, the virtual ones, they're always great to complete. The Forage is the one that I shared earlier, where you can go in, you can choose an area, and it will walk you through the process. And what you can do is that once you complete that virtual internship on the Forage, you can add that to your portfolio. So when you interview for a job and they say, hey, do you have experience with XYZ? You can say, yes, I know how to do that. I learned how to do that in a virtual internship. Again, glean from every position and every opportunity in the field, because they can help to make you better and help to make you more marketable and more viable in an ever-changing job market. So one of the things that I always like to talk to people about is about a non-linear mindset when looking for a position. Sometimes jobs that are outside the box give us experience that can help us in our search for a fulfilling career. When you're a linear thinker, that means that I have a degree in X. I look for a job that is a title of that matches X. So if my degree is in health information management, I'm looking for a health information manager. If my degree is in respiratory therapy, I'm only looking for a respiratory therapist job. When you're a linear thinker, it kind of pigeonholes you and it keeps you from really seeing all of the great opportunities that are available. Just to share with you just some things about my 20 plus years of experience in the field. My very first job when I graduated from school, I was a coder. And I learned very quickly that I don't think that I have the attention span to be an inpatient coder. So I moved on to worked in outpatient coding, which was much more enjoyable for me. I worked in anesthesia and I got to code the babies that came in to get tubes put in their ears. And I got to code the people that came in to get the tonsillectomies and things like that. I also worked with Blue Cross Blue Shield. So I worked in the insurance industry. After I left Mississippi, well, before I left Mississippi, I even worked in hardware and software deployment and EHR maintenance when they went live with their EHR. So that was when I had my first taste of what it was like being in a more of a technical position and not just a straight HIM position. Then After I moved, I worked in education, doing over a medical billing and coding program. I worked with the Federal Bureau of Prisons, helping to develop and to maintain a homegrown EHR that was used just for federal inmates. So much to unpack there, but it was a great opportunity. Then I worked in HIM, traditional HIM, and then eventually moving into the hospital system where I worked with Epic implementations and then Greenway implementations. So a lot of different experiences, and every one of those experiences helped to shape what I do and what I love about the field. And those roles utilize education and skills. So you're not just pigeonholed to one certain thing. You have lots of opportunities that you can take on when you look outside the box. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you some of these roles. I'm going to show you some traditional roles, and then I'm going to show you some non-traditional roles that definitely align with what it is that you learn, but they don't, but you might not even apply for them if you see them because they don't look like something that you've seen before. So let's dig into that. So some of our traditional HIM jobs, of course, you've got medical records HIM tech, coding specialist, clinical documentation specialist, HIM manager, a director, ROI specialist, compliance officer, health data analyst. Really traditional jobs dealing with the basics of your didactic instruction. Okay. Now let's think about non-traditional HIM jobs, data scientists. Now, when you learn in the program is you learn a lot about patient data. Data science is what talks to you about what you think and about what conclusions can be drawn from data. So if you pair what you learn about HIM with maybe a skill set enhancement course that's found on Coursera or Udemy about data science, then you'll be skilled to work as a data scientist, especially a healthcare data science. If you ever look for some of those jobs, you'll see many of them only require for you to have a bachelor's degree and knowledge of patient data and patient data processes. A health information exchange specialist. We talk a lot, especially about the students that are in my classes. We talk about the HIE and the health information exchange. When you look at a non-traditional job, you're working with helping to develop or to maintain those relationships and the governance of that health information exchange system. Health IT project managers. There's a great need for health IT project managers because anytime you have a hospital or a healthcare organization that is implementing a new system or even a new process or project, they need someone that can be there to rally the troops, to develop a charter, to write up the steps, and to create a timeline with milestones of what needs to be done in order for us to be successful. Public health informatics specialists. A lot of people don't put public health and health informatics or health information together. And even though it says health informatics, having that foundation in health information management is integral because while health information management and health informatics are not synonymous, they are definitely symbiotic. And what that means is health informatics depends on health information management. Understanding patient data, and then the public health side of it is using patient data to develop systems to improve the quality of life of the public. That will put you in a position for a health informatics specialist position. Healthcare blockchain specialist, using that data and blockchain technologies to work on projects. Patient health IT advocate and trainer. One of the things that I talked to one of my colleagues about this morning was about people trusting the use of AI, but you have to educate people about the benefits of AI before they'll really trust what AI provides, because there's always that question of, can I trust this information? But if you're working as an advocate or a trainer, you can work in many settings to help get your patients up to key, get them up to code to understanding what the key concepts are of AI used as a part of their clinical decision making. It also helps with patient generated data, because when patients help generate data and they generate accurate data, you can help them take an active part in their healthcare. That's huge. And then finally, telehealth coordinator, because even though it's telehealth, there still needs to be someone that is responsible for helping with data collection to make sure that the information that's collected is correct, plus the billing and those aspects of it are correct. So lots of opportunities that you may not even think about because you don't put when you think about experience, you're only looking at gaining experience through traditional jobs, but you can gain so much experience through non-traditional jobs. I have a colleague, we went to school together, got our master's in health informatics. She worked for a trucking company in logistics. Why? Because she understood health IT project management. And she helped them develop a system to make sure that they were using the best routes and the best delivery methods to get the products where they needed to be in a timely manner and in quality condition. Now she's not in that position any longer, but she spent a lot of time there. And it helped her to catapult into the next position. Why? Because she gained from and gleaned from that experience. Every experience matters. Whatever it is that we do, look for those opportunities in non-traditional roles and traditional roles, but don't limit yourself into how you can get that experience, because experience is pillar 3. It helps you be successful. And lastly, pillar number 4, social capital. Social capital increases the flow of information across social connections, opening doors and spreading ideas. Networking is important. I have a t-shirt that says network or not work. And what that means is that unless you network and you get out here and you make those meaningful connections, it's really hard for you to get involved and really be on the stage or in the crowd or at the table with people that are key decision makers and people that may have opportunities where you can contribute your body of knowledge and your skills and what you know how to do. So when there's an opportunity, get involved at a local, state, and national level. If there's a conference coming up, if there's a webinar coming up, if there's a meeting that you can go to, a lunch and learn, and you can take time off to go, not only will that help you with keeping up with your CEUs, it'll also help you with staying in touch with other industry professionals. I can tell you, there are lots of people, especially in our field, it's about networking. It's who you know and how you connect with these people. HIM is one of those places that before I ever even came here, I knew a lot of the people that worked here. Like Dr. Ward and Dr. Moreland. I knew Dr. Moreland. I've known her for years. I know Dr. Ward. I knew of her before I ever met her. Why? Because it's about those meaningful connections and those pioneers in the field and the people that make a difference. And you can say, hey, I've heard about them. I don't know them, but I know about what they do. So you can make those meaningful connections, and they can not only help with opening doors, but also spreading ideas for you as an emerging professional as you continue on your journey and transitioning into the field. And another thing that social capital will do for you is it will help you to speak confidently about what you can offer as an emerging or seasoned professional. If you're a seasoned professional and you're taking on a different role or you're doing something different, you can say, hey, I've been doing X for this many years, and now I've decided to kind of move into another area, but I can bring my experience from this part of my life over into this sector, and they can benefit one another. And then as an emerging professional, you could say, hey, I have a really strong background in this area. I've already taken my certification. I've gotten some experience through my internship, my practical experience. And now I'm looking for an opportunity to connect. And this is what I have to offer. Social capital is important because there are a lot of opportunities and a lot of times where those social connections can be your key to getting into the next space where you can make a really huge impact in the field. So those 4 pillars are very important. So we are going to do a class activity. So before we get into the activity, I'm going to back up a couple slides and give you an opportunity to pull out your phone and take a picture of a slide. This slide right here, the 4 pillars of success. I'm going to give you a minute or two. Take out your phone, take a picture. 4 pillars of success. All right, has everybody got it? Okay. All right. So everybody got it. So let's go over here and we're about to do this activity together. All right. We're going to read about these emerging healthcare professionals, and you're going to identify ways that they can use one or more of the 4 pillars to meet their personal and professional goals. So you can either come off mute and tell me, or you can put it in the chat. Okay. All right. Let's do the first one. Mary. Mary just graduated with her bachelor's degree in HIM. She is excited about becoming more active in the local and national healthcare organizations. She also wants to obtain the right certifications that will help her land a great job. Where should she start? What does Mary need to do first? Because she's done some of the things, some of the pillars she has covered. What does she need to do? Now, I can't see the chat, so y'all have to tell me. Or
We
somebody.
have social capital so far.
Okay, social capital. Yep, because she needs to be more active, right? What else?
Education.
She's already done education. She made that first step. She graduated. She got a degree. So she got that one. So
Certification is a few
certification.
people said. A few
Yep.
people said certification.
Yep. Wants to get that right certification. So she needs to do some research. Figure out what certifications would be the best for her. Right. And then finally, what's the last thing she needs to do? She just get some experience. So she got her education. She's trying to get more social. She's trying to get her certifications. And she needs to land that great job so she can get her experience. So she made the first step. So the other 3 pillars, that's what she's aiming for. So she's on her way. She's made the first step. So now she's got to do the rest of them to get to where she wants to be. All right. Let's look at the next one. John. All right. John already has an RHIA. He's already got his bachelor's degree. He wants to run for office in his local professional organization. However, he rarely attends these in-person events. He maintains his CEUs virtually. What does John need to do?
Social capital.
Social capital. Somebody tell me why. Why do you think he needs to do that?
Needs to build relationships.
Absolutely. You know, COVID kind of put us all back some because, you know, it kind of cut out on a lot of in-person meetings. But now, as we've seen them increase, those are opportunities for you to get back out and network and to meet those people. So he's got his degree. He's got his RHIA. We don't know if he's worked for a long time, but we definitely know that he needs to get out and build up his social capital. Yep, that will help him to get where he wants to be. All right, let's look at the next one. All right, Mary has been in the HIM field for a long time. Even though she's worked in the department, she's not been able to move up into leadership roles. She never obtained a degree in health information management or her certification. She has been active in her local organization and has many years of experience. What steps can she take to increase her marketability? What does Mary need to do?
Someone said education.
Education. If she wants to move up and the job requires it, she needs to find a way to do her education. What else?
Certification.
Certification. Right. And you know, if she decided that she wanted to go into some positions that only require a certification, she might be able to do some continuing education or some training, some skill set enhancements to be able to sit for her test. But if she wants to move into a role that requires her to get either an associate degree or a bachelor's degree in health information, plus your academic credential, RHA or RHIT, then that would be the best step for her to take. So she can increase her marketability, because we have a lot of people, especially when it comes to our HIM field, they have been in the field for a long time. But if they have not gone back and really got that formal training, they might have missed out on opportunities. And having that education will help them be successful in those opportunities, in obtaining those opportunities. All right, let's look at Melissa. Now, this is a good one. Melissa has undergraduate and graduate degrees in health information. She's just taken and passed her RHIA. She has applied for several jobs that require at least 5 years of experience, which she does not have. The entry-level jobs don't align with what she wants to do. How can we help her chart her path?
We have social capital.
Okay. What else? What is she lacking?
Certification.
No, she's got her RHIA.
Experience.
Experience. Because she's applying for jobs that require experience that she doesn't have. And the entry level jobs don't align with what she wants to do. So this is a case of where I need to reach out to people that are in the field, that may be working in the area where I would like to work, and find out what steps I can take to move into that arena as well. I talk with a lot of people that say, hey, I've been in HIM for years, I want to move into informatics. Or I've been in respiratory therapy or nursing or another field, and I want to move into health informatics. And so I have conversation with them about what it is that you need to do to make you more marketable so that you can move into health informatics. What organizations you need to be active with, what certifications you need to look at in order for you to be able to chart your path to make that transition from one area to the next. Now, the great thing is that you can use your skills and the things that you've done before to help you be successful. But in the event that you have, jobs that will require experience, certification, then there are also opportunities for you to connect with other people in the field using social capital and those principles to make yourself more viable, more marketable in the field. So let's talk about the solutions. First, remain a lifelong learner. Don't let your learning stop after graduation. Devote time to upskilling and learning more through continuing education. When you finish, I know that you'll be tired. You'll be so excited that you don't have a paper to write. You don't have any other work that's being given to you that you got to complete by a due date. Take a breather, but then never give up on learning new things. You don't have to be enrolled in a program. You may just do a class, something that may take you 2 or 3 hours to learn a new skill, but always remain a lifelong learner so that you can learn how to do things. Let's just say that you graduate and you say, you know what, I really do want to learn about program management. Well, you can go and find a course in program management. Or I would really like to know about research in health equity research and dealing with vulnerable populations. Go on Coursera, find a course, and get that certificate saying that you went through it. There are several institutions, universities that offer like a public health add-on certificate. One of them is the Get Fit, PHIT, and it's public health IT, and it'll help you learn basic skills. You can add that to your resume as something that you learned. Doesn't take long, but it's definitely very valuable. The School of Public Health in South Carolina, they have one. It's online. You do it, add it to your resume. It's always great to have. Always commit to being a lifelong learner. Second, seek industry relevant certifications. Find the area that piques your interest and obtain those. If you're interested in coding, look at those coding certifications and which ones you think would be the best for you and which ones would serve you the best. If you like compliance, clinical documentation, ethics, quality, find those certifications and study for them, get prepared, and then take them. And then that will help you as you chart your path and decide what area you want to move into in the field. Next, value every experience. Every job is a launching pad. Find value in every task. If you have a job where they want you to alphabetize a Excel document all the time, the skill that you learn is you may be able to do a data cleanup. Put that on a resume. You gotta know how to manipulate data, or you know how to work with data, work with tables. If you have to learn how to do pivot tables, which is definitely something you have to learn how to do. My students that are in my HIM class right now, you have to learn how to do a pivot table. Put that in there as a skill, something that you know how to do. Transferable skills get you ready for your next. It's not always just about those hard static things that you think about immediately when it comes to your degree. It can be program management, data collection, project charter creation, data analytics. A lot of these things that you learn in the program can be transferable skills that can get you ready for what you have to do next. And then finally, network. Again, just because we're in online education does not mean that we should not be out and be visible in the field. Attend local and virtual events. Introduce yourself to industry professionals that do the type of work that interests you, or just industry professionals in general. Use LinkedIn as a tool. I don't know if many of you follow me on LinkedIn, but I always have posts about jobs, about educational programs, continuing education, opportunities to connect, because those are what's important. Because if there's a student, or even if there's a professional that wants to get into a certain area, I want to make sure that I have an opportunity that says, hey, I saw this today. I thought about all of you that wanted to get involved with XYZ. Click on this link and it'll give you more information. You'll be amazed at how many connections you're able to make that way, because people see you as an asset. And networking and social capital is bi-directional. It's not just one way. It's what social connections can we foster, and how can you contribute to me and I can contribute back to you. Network. Use your social capital to increase your marketability. So in summary, earning your degree is exciting. Like I said, you're taking the first step. There are lots of tasks that will allow you to build a portfolio, showcasing your knowledge and skills, and I'm confident that you will all do well and prepare to walk boldly across the stage and into the future. So now, for the last, I think I'm 3 minutes early, but for the last 15 minutes, I always leave the floor open. What questions do you have for me about the 4 pillars,